Good morning, this is Miss Nancy from Tiny Scholars World. I might start laughing because my grandchildren are going to be doing this craft with us. I'll introduce them to you or you to them after I show you the supplies and we start doing our craft. Hopefully you're looking out your window and enjoying all of the beautiful changes that spring is bringing. The grass is starting to grow and be green. They're starting to have plants growing from the ground. If you look at the branches of bushes and trees, the leaves are starting to sprout and the little flowers are starting to sprout. That means they're starting to grow. So you don't see big leaves, they're just beginning their growth, they're sprouting. Okay, so I thought you might want to do a spring craft. These are the supplies you will need. Most of them you should have at home. And if you don't have these exact ones, you can use things that you have at home. Glue stick or regular liquid glue. Safety scissors, and you only use this if you're with an adult and they're watching you to make sure you're being safe. Markers or crayons. You can use either or both. Okay. I have light blue paper. I want to use this because I want this to be a beautiful sunny spring day, and then I don't have to color the blue sky in. It already will be blue. But if you don't have light blue paper, you can use white paper, and then you would just use your crayons or markers and you'll color your own blue sky. I also have different colored construction paper that can be the flowers that are starting to sprout. I picked out colors that flowers would be. I also have green that could be the leaves that are sprouting on the tree. If you have tissue paper is nice because when you get little pieces of tissue paper and you curl them up into a little ball, it will look like the flowers are coming off of your tree. So it looks like three-dimensional or 3D. If you have magazines, a lot of the pictures in the magazines are starting to show spring flowers. So you could cut out the flowers that are in the magazine and use those as the flowers growing on your tree. Because this is going to be a collage. And a collage is a picture that uses different medium to make your picture. So you're not just drawing your picture with a marker. You're going to be gluing things on. You're taking things either from a magazine or papers, plus you're using crayons. So you're mixing different things to make your picture or your collage. So let's get started. We're going to start with the tree, okay? So for a tree trunk, that's the bottom part of the tree, the base of the tree, I'm going to use brown, but you could use gray or black because tree trunks are different colors. And to make the trunk of the tree, I'm going to make a rectangle, and you all know what a rectangle is. 2 long sides and 2 short sides. So it has 4 sides. You'll make your rectangle, 2 long sides and 2 short sides, and then we're going to color it in. Okay? Do you want to use crayons, or would you like to use, I'm speaking to my grandchildren, they're going to start theirs. Or if you want to use marker, there's black marker if you want to make a black trunk. Okay? So make your rectangle, and I'm going to color it in quickly, but you take your time so you do your best work. Okay?
I want to use brown. I have a brown marker here that's little.
Oh, good. Okay. And then I will pass you this when I'm finished this. Okay?
I have this.
After you do your trunk of your tree, we're going to add branches. Now the branches don't come off the bottom. The roots go down off the bottom into the ground. The branches come the top. So we're going to draw some branches off the top. Okay? And you can put as many branches as you want. Make your branches come up. You can make branches, smaller pieces come off of the other branches that are coming up. Okay? Because you want your tree to have lots of branches so you can add lots of flowers and leaves. Okay. All right. Do you want to use this? It's a thicker marker. It might be easier for you to use it. Okay. Okay. So now we have our tree, our rectangle, and we have our branches coming from the top. Now we can decide what color flowers we're going to put on. So I'm going to put some orange. Okay. You can keep working on yours. This is Liam and Harper, and I'll turn it. The camera doesn't let me just turn it. So I'm cutting away from myself. See how I'm holding the scissor in front? And I'm cutting away from myself. Open, closed, open, closed, open, closed, open, closed, okay? And then there's another scissor in there if you want to use it.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna cut little pieces. You can cut little squares, you could cut little triangles, cut little pieces. And see, I'm still cutting away from myself. I'm not turning my scissor. I'm cutting away from myself so I don't get cut, and my other hand's all the way over here. Okay? So, and here's another scissor that you guys can use. Okay? Now, so I'm gonna put a little bit of glue, and I'm gonna spread out my little flowers that I just cut. So I'm putting dabs of glue. I'm using the liquid glue, but you can use your glue stick if you would like. My glue stick is dried out. So I'm going to use dabs of glue. Just rip it. That's what's nice about tissue paper. You can rip it. And now I'm going to glue on some of our beautiful orange blossoms that are starting to sprout. Okay, so in each dab of glue, I'm going to add one of my orange pieces of paper. Okay. And since I want it to be a collage that's different things, I'm going to add, nice thing with tissue paper is, tissue paper, you don't even have to use a scissor. You can just rip little pieces, curl them up in your fingers into a little ball. Curl them up into a little ball, and then I'm just going to add some dabs of glue so I can share my glue. So if you're doing yours at home with your brother or sister, you can share your supplies also. So I'm going to just put some dabs of glue on here, okay, and then share my glue with my grandchildren. So here I'm adding some of the pink blossoms. So I'm going to cut a few. I'm just going to do a few so that you can see how it works, but we don't want this video to take too long, right? So I'm gonna add just a couple more pieces of the pink so you can see how it's going. Okay, roll it into a ball, but you can see how the tissue paper comes off of the paper. So it's three-dimensional or 3D. It doesn't just lay flat, okay? Now, you can use your green paper for the leaves that are sprouting, but because I want to use different medium or different tools, I'm going to use a green crayon to color in some leaves that are starting to sprout. You can make just little circles. You can make little circles. You can make triangles. This is your picture, so you can decide how you want it to look. So I just drew little spots, and because it's springtime, our tree is not covered with leaves. That happens in the summer or later spring. So there's not a lot of leaves, they're just starting. Okay, so I've added some green leaves with my crayon. I also want to add some of the flowers from this magazine. So I'm going to cut out some of the flowers. There's these beautiful flowers here. So again, I'm going to take my scissor and I'm going to turn my paper away and cut away from me. Okay, turn my paper again and cut away from me. Turn my paper. I don't turn my scissor, I turn my paper. Okay, and turn my paper. Okay, now I have the box of these flowers. I can cut each little flower out, turn the paper, and hold it on the side. Let me cut one more flower over here, and I'm going to add these flowers. Turn the paper, cut, turn the paper, cut, turn the paper, cut. Okay, and I'm going to put these flowers on my tree in the glue spots. So I've added some of the flowers from my magazine. Now, because it's spring, right, and grass is starting to grow, I'm going to use a green marker, and I'm going to draw some grass coming up from this ground. In the grass, you can just draw lines right? Vertical lines that go up and down. Some vertical lines going up and down to look like grass. I know you're also good at drawing flowers. If you would like to draw some flowers that are starting to sprout from the ground, you can do that. This is your picture. You decide what you want it to look like. The last thing I'm going to add is I'm going to put a sun up in the sky. You could cut a sun out of construction paper if you have yellow, or you could use a yellow crayon or marker and draw a sun up in the sky, because this is a beautiful sunny spring day. Okay?
Can I have the green paper?
Sure, and here's the scissor. Okay? And that's my picture, and I would continue to work on it until it looks the way I want it to look. Good idea. You always write your name because you're the artist who did this picture, so you should add your name to it. I will write Miss Nancy on mine. But you would write your name on yours so that everybody knows you're the artist that made this beautiful picture. And then when the glue is dry, you'll be ready to hang it up. Let's see how my grandchildren are doing. This is my grandson, Liam. And let's see, Liam. Oh, turn it this way because the sun is making it flare. Turn it in front of you. Oh, that's beautiful. And look at how those flowers are coming out of the paper.
My initial?
And you put your initials. Very nice. And I like the sun in the sky and the grass. And here's my granddaughter, Harper, writing her name on her picture. I'm going to move the glue so we can see your beautiful picture that you are working on. Okay. And Harper did tissue paper, beautiful flowers coming off. Very nice. Okay. So I hope that everybody enjoyed doing this craft. Stay well, and we'll talk again soon. Love you. Bye.